Hi, our message for today is entitled, The Lord Hears Our Laments. Welcome to my home, and we're going to talk about different things for confirmation, encouragement, enlightenment, and enjoyment. So come along, a theological journey of enlightenment, growth, and enjoyment. Let's have fun. If this message blesses you, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. The foundational scripture for this message is Jeremiah chapter 20, verses 7 through 9, and then verse 11. O Lord, you induced me, and I was persuaded. You are stronger than I, and have prevailed. I am derision daily. Everyone mocks me, for when I spoke, I cried out. I shouted violence and plunder, because the word of the Lord was made to me a reproach and a derision daily. Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name. But his word was in my heart like a burning fire, shut up in my bones. I was weary of holding it back, and I could not. And verse 11, but the Lord is with me as a mighty awesome one. Therefore my persecutors will stumble and will not prevail. They will be greatly ashamed, for they will not prosper. Their everlasting confusion will never be forgotten. In these verses, Jeremiah is lamenting and wailing to God. The lament is to express strongly regret or sorrow, dissatisfaction with having to be made a laughing stock and being mocked by the people who made him, Jeremiah, miserable. Jeremiah is expressing his sorrow because of the situation he finds himself in. He feels that the Lord has influenced him to answer the call to prophesy, even though he was hesitant to do so. Please keep in mind that Jeremiah is not accusing the Lord, but is expressing his dissatisfaction with having to be made a laughing stock and being mocked by the people, which made him miserable. The message to the people was of doom and destruction. This meant constantly speaking of violence and robbery. 2 Chronicles chapter 36, verse 16a, New King James says, but they mocked the messengers of God, despised his words, and scoffed at his prophets, until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people, till there was no remedy. Now, this again is what Jeremiah experienced. Being under so much pressure, he said that he would not remember the Lord or speak in his name again. He then described the Lord's word like fire burning within his bones. Now, being flesh, Jeremiah couldn't hold nor keep the word to himself. This was like what Psalm 39 verse 3 says, which is, my heart was hot within me. While I was musing, the fire burned. Then I spoke with my tongue. Then the prophet became aware of the presence of the Lord, saying that the mighty and awesome Lord was with him. He was not alone. Romans chapter 8, verse 31 says, when then shall we say to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? Those who were persecuting Jeremiah were not going to win in the end. Persecutors were to be disgraced. Psalm 62, verse 8 says, trust in him at all times, you people. Pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us. The things that come to mind, think about this. This brings to mind Hannah, the mother of Samuel. She was sorrowfully crying out to God, and Eli the priest thought she was drunk. Now, look at this. First of all, let's take a look at what she said. And this is in 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 15. She said, but Hannah answered and said, no, my Lord, I am a woman of sorrowful heart, sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor intoxicating drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord. Now, let me read that again. because what she's actually doing is she's lamenting, and then she's explaining to him why she's lamenting. It says, "No, my Lord, I am a woman of sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor intoxicating drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord." In John chapter 16, verse 20, Jesus speaks in reference to his own death and resurrection, saying, "Most assuredly, I say to you that you will weep and lament, but the world will rejoice, and you will be sorrowful, but your sorrow will be turned into joy." Jesus, in his prayer of lament to the Father, in Mark chapter 14, verse 36, "And he said, Abba, Father, all things are possible for you. Take this cup away from me. Nevertheless, but not what I will, but what you will." In Jesus' prayer of lament, he approaches God the Father as a child, because Abba is usually how a child addresses his father or her father. Jesus wasn't trying to abort his task or assignment, which was terrible suffering. His agony was having to bear the sins of the world and separation from God the Father at the cross, because he and the Father are one. That means they're very close. Remember that the Lord is our refuge in times of trouble. This is why we should cry out to him. In Daniel chapter 9, Daniel prayed a prayer of lament by confessing and expressing sorrow and regret for his sins and the sins of others, including iniquity, wickedness, and rebellion. Prayers of lament are important and can be powerful, whether we are interceding for others or praying for ourselves. I close with the words from the hymn entitled, "Hear Me Praying," and the writer is unknown. Like the Baptist when you said, "I am a voice," like the Baptist when you said, "Crying every day," like the Baptist when you said, "In the wilderness," like the Baptist when you said, "Prepare the way." Lord, oh, hear me praying. Lord, oh, hear me praying. Lord, oh, hear me praying. I want to be more holy every day. Until next time, live, learn, and enjoy the journey. This has been a cup of tea and a word with Orzie.